Most people think that integrating a fully automated sales system or some sort of AI solution to help you close more deals is super complex and expensive. And honestly, they're right. I mean, it is. I run an AI automation agency and we don't even have one of these systems. I wouldn't build one for a client and I definitely wouldn't recommend them one either. Instead, what we use at our agency and what we also recommend to clients is just 5 or so simple tactics. Basic automations, agents, and tools that are so simple that literally anybody could set them up and use them. And that's exactly what I'll be showing you today. And none of the tactics I'm about to show you will take longer than 30 or so minutes to set up. Now, you don't need to know anything about AI development, you don't need to have an ounce of technical knowledge, and you most certainly do not need to know how to code. And as well, they're practically free. So these are proven tactics that I use inside my AI agency that help me and my team stay organized, save time, and make deal flow much smoother for both us and our prospects. About a 2 to 3x increase in deals closed after we've started using them. Not to mention all of the hours that have been saved and how much more organized we feel after using them. So I'm going to cover these tactics, how they work, how you can set them up, and why they're helpful. Okay, so tactic number 1 is called the email panel. And now, instead of me going into loads of detail on how to set these up, I'll very quickly skim past it, but what I've actually made is a full resource showing you step by step how you can set this up. And some of the basic systems and automations that I'm showing in this video, they will be templated in there, so you can just download the file and import them directly into make.com and start using them right away. You can grab this completely for free, and I will show you at the end of this video how you can get access to it. So this tactic called the email panel is probably the most simple that you'll see today, and I'd say it's saved our agency the most time. So here's what it is. It's literally just a form that lets you speed run sending emails. So you can think of it like a control panel for your entire email follow-up process or email sending process. So instead of opening up Gmail and sending, similar sort of emails, even if you have templates, that takes time, right? You've just got this simple form with pre-built options like follow up a prospect, send sales resources, send over a proposal, or revive a cold lead. And you can add pretty much anything you want. The form connects to make.com and everything gets funneled through there. And by using very basic logic, we can have this form collect email addresses and names and just trigger the corresponding email to send within make.com. And you can, of course, add in a little bit of AI to spice up the quality of these emails, and I have examples to show you how you can do this. For example, the one that we use AI with is to send over proposals. Proposals are important, and the way you package it up can really make a big difference in how you actually close a deal. So our system allows you to attach a file and add in the prospect's email address, and then once this gets sent to Make, Claude will basically scan the proposal for a personalized email body with the proposal as an attachment. So this will then be sent to the prospect that you're trying to close. The email body will be absolutely stunning. It'll be wrapped in nice HTML. It can even be on your brand if you want to add in your brand guidelines. And it can also give you a brief summary of the proposal, highlighting the important parts, for example, pricing, or any concerns that the prospect had about a specific weird little topic within your offer. You can highlight them in the email body. You will now have a one-stop shop for sending 75% of the emails that your entire company sends. Any follow-ups, proposal send-offs, resource drops, or cold lead revivals, and that's what we use in our agency, become 10 times easier and much more smoother for you and your prospect. And what we do at our agency is we have a day where we'll follow up all of our cold leads, we'll nudge any prospects on the proposals that we sent, and just do a load of follow-ups to try to keep the pipeline moving. Your team just clicks a button, fills in the prospect's name, and then boom, professional follow-up sent. And it's also very easy to have AI generate the email content as well. Just tie in a Claude module, tell it exactly what you want it to say, make sure you provide the right info on the form to make it happen, and then everything can be personalized. The cost and time savings alone from this system are insane. If you want a full email automation system from like an AI agency or some other software development agency, they'll charge you at least $5,000 minimum. But this is practically free. It'll take like 30 minutes to set up, and although it isn't fully automated, you still have that element of control, meaning it's very unlikely for an error to occur. And I know exactly what you're thinking. I do. This sounds too simple to work. But that's exactly why it does work. Sometimes simple and reliable beats complex and unreliable. And even if you want to keep it really simple, you don't even have to use AI. It's completely up to you. We obviously choose to use AI because we are an AI agency, but for the most part, this works without AI. But I would recommend using AI because it is pretty easy to get it, very, very reliable with AI integrated. Now, in the free resource that I'm going to be sharing with this video, I have actually got a blueprint for a Make.com scenario of this exact email flow in Make.com that we use for our agency, and that'll be a good starting point. Okay, so tactic number 2 is one that you're probably already somewhat using, but only to a fraction of its fullest potential. Now, if you're still using the native Google Meet or Zoom recorders, they're probably not cutting it. I'd recommend switching to an AI meeting note taker, and I'll put the best platforms up on screen so you can evaluate your options. But here's the thing, I'm not here to tell you stuff that you already know, so once you get one of these set up, we can move on and I'll show you how this ties into tactic 2. What most people miss is after a sales or discovery call, you're sitting on a gold mine of information. You cannot afford to let this juicy information just disappear deep into a CRM or become scattered and unorganized within your internal business headquarters. So here's exactly what we do at our agency to capitalize off this information from the call. So whenever the call finishes, just go into your AI note taker and ask the chat feature to create two things. Most note takers should have a little chat feature. I'm sure you'll find one in there. And if you don't, switch to Read AI. It has one and it's by far the best note taker. Anyway, back to the two things that you're asking it to create. First is a highly detailed summary of the offer or service that you discussed on the call. You want to get it to highlight facts, figures, action items, everything specific. This is especially crucial if you have like a technical or a very complex offer like we do. Secondly, you want to get it to generate a detailed profile of the lead. You know, who they are, their company, their role. You can even pull in additional intel from Perplexity about their business or them personally. One, you've got a detailed overview of what you're going to be building or providing for this client, you know, the actual offer tailored to this prospect. And two, you've got a detailed summary about who they actually are as a person or as a business. So here's where we get creative. You want to take both of these chunks, drop them into two separate Google Docs, save them and download them, then head over to ChatGPT, create a new GPT, upload both files to the knowledge base and add our system prompt from the resource guide into the instructions, and then share it with your team. You now have an AI assistant trained specifically on this prospect and on this deal, and it takes about 5 minutes to set up after the call. And as the deal moves further, grab more information and feed it into this assistant and nothing will go missing. So now you or your entire sales team can access all the details from this one deal that's moving in your pipeline. And it's not just useful for storing information or having as like an extension of your brain. You can use it to flesh out ideas and be personalized to this one deal. You know, you can create roadmaps, you can make sales resources, you can make project overviews, the list goes on. If you need ideas for things, if you want to send them an email that matches their tone and the way that they speak, if they have certain objections, you can flesh it out with the GPT to try and expand on it and combat these objections. And here's the best part, whenever you actually close the deal, just feed in this GPT all the information from the deal flow that's moving down the pipeline, and then it can help you with client fulfillment. You know, I have a personalized GPT for each and every single client, and we're not done. There's so much more that you can do with these meeting recorders. Now, most meeting recorders or note takers will have a little feature called a webhook. And if you don't know what a webhook is, you can basically think about it like a trigger. So when something happens, like a meeting ending or a report finishing, it automatically sends the data to a specific URL that you control. So when a report finishes, you can have it sent into a make.com scenario and do all sorts with that information. Take the details from the transcript and get Claude to generate a personalized email saying like a thank you and maybe a summary or even some sort of roadmap or personalized sales resource right off the bat. That's going to immediately make it feel like prospects are getting something extremely valuable off the bat and making you stand out. And you know, something basic like this really goes a long way, and it's really shown in our agency. And obviously this is amplified because we are an AI agency, so it is quite impressive whenever stuff like this gets generated. So get creative, but the main use case is for what you can send just after the call. I'll attach in the resource below and then you can, you know, flesh out some ideas from that. See what I mean? All of these tactics are super straightforward and very, very easy to set up, but it makes a massive difference in how you handle prospects and move deals further down the pipeline. Anyway, let's crack on and move to tactic 3. Okay, most discovery calls are either extremely valuable or a waste of time. It's very rare that there's an in-between. So if you want to reduce the amount of wasted discovery calls and improve the quality and smoothness of the valuable ones, you need an AI agent for deep prospect researching. And I know that sounds very scary and difficult to make, but trust me, with no-code tools, they're very, very easy. The reality is, a lot of you guys are probably going into discovery calls blind, especially if you're a big company with a lot of lead flow. Maybe you check their LinkedIn or glance at their website and call it research. Meanwhile, you or your team are spending like 45 minutes on a call with someone who can't even afford your services and doesn't have decision-making authority or just isn't a good fit for what it is that you do. But what if you could know not only just all that, but literally everything about the lead before you even jump on a call? Well, an AI research agent can pull company financials, recent funding rounds, headcount growth, tech stacks, recent hires, leadership changes, competitor analysis, everything that you need to qualify and make a sales call 10 times better. And you know, and this agent can have a chat UI, so you can share it with your team like you use ChatGPT with. You know, you can make it a standard process in your business. Whenever a new lead books in, go and consult with the research agent and see what the crack is with them, see if they're a good lead or not. And the easiest way to set up one of these agents is with Relevance AI, by far the easiest way. And the setup is very straightforward, and when it is built, all you do is feed a prospect's company name and maybe their LinkedIn URL or their website URL, and within minutes you have a complete intelligent report that tells you whether or not this call is worth taking. And instead of me showing you how to set this up now, I actually have made multiple different videos showing you how you can set up an AI agent for deep lead research. They give you a very slow and simple step-by-step guide on how to set up one of these agents. One of the videos just shows me actually building the agent that you can upload to a chat UI and talk with and share the link with your team. And the other one shows you how you can connect this agent to Calendly. So whenever somebody books in via Calendly, they will automatically get research and then ping your team a full research report on this new lead. I'll put these videos up in the top right corner, but you can also find them in the description afterwards. Whenever we started using this agent, our close rates went up and our time wasted went down. Okay, so now we know which leads are good, which are bad, and we also know everything about them going onto the call, but we just need to make sure that they actually show up to the call now. So that brings us on to tactic 4. Now this tactic isn't really AI, but it is automation, and that doesn't take away from how powerful it is. I'd say 1 in every 4 sales calls we actually get complimented on this, and that is our meeting reminder process. So here's the thing, you're probably losing about 30 to 40% of your booked calls to just no-shows. That's qualified prospects who were interested enough to book in, but then just simply disappear. Each no-show isn't just a lost meeting, but it's a lost opportunity that could have been thousands in revenue. But what if you could cut your no-show rates genuinely in half with just a simple automated system? Now this is made incredibly easy with Calendly, but I'd say most booking software will also have this system. And if yours doesn't, I would seriously recommend switching over to Calendly. Anyway, here's the framework that's worked best for us. So an email reminder 24 hours before the meeting, also an SMS reminder 24 hours before the meeting, an optional email reminder about 3 to 6 hours before, and then both an email and SMS reminder about 10 minutes before the meeting. And to set this up, just log into Calendly, and if you haven't created an account, and set your schedule up, there's loads of videos on how to do that. But once you've got that ready, head over to workflows. Now Calendly already has loads of pre-made workflows, but you just want to choose text and email reminder to invitee. So load them up and set the time you want the reminder to be sent at before the event. Assign the event type for this workflow to apply them to. You can also edit the content, but I tend to leave them as is because they're already pretty solid. And just like that, booked prospects have literally zero excuse for not showing. But here's a little psychology hack that takes that one step further. On your Calendly or booking form, add a little checkbox asking, will you definitely attend this meeting? It's a little simple commitment device that will probably slightly improve your show rates, but I have zero proof for that, but it will probably work. The results of all this are higher show rates, more actual conversations, and as a result, more deals closed. It's not flashy, but it directly impacts your bottom line. And moving on to tactic 5, we're getting back into the AI territory. And this one is automated proposal creation with AI. And remember the AI note takers that we spoke about at the beginning? We're really going to be putting them to use in this tactic. So here's the flow. Your meeting note taker finishes its report, triggers a webhook, then Make.com gets the data, hands it to an assistant trained on your proposals. Don't worry, I'll show you how you can set this up. It generates a proposal based on previous ones and the information gathered from the call. Claude then formats it, sticks it into a PDF, and sends it to either yourself for review or immediately to your prospect. So think about this, you're probably spending a couple hours on writing a decent quality proposal for every deal. You're trying to remember exactly what they had said, what pain points they mentioned, any objections, and also the budget that they hinted at. By the time you send it a week later, the momentum's already gone. But what if your prospect received a personalized, professional proposal within literally just 30 minutes of the sales call, while the conversation's still fresh in their mind and they're still excited about working with you? And that's the power of striking while the iron's hot. It can literally double your close rates. And to make life even easier, I've got a Make.com template for this, and I'll also show you how you can create a GPT assistant, not an actual GPT, one that you can use via API to tie into this workflow. And this will also be in the resource that I mentioned earlier. All you need to do is just download the JSON, chuck it inside of a Make.com scenario, set up the connections and APIs, link your OpenAI assistant, and then boom, you're ready to go. And even if you don't want your newly AI generated proposals to be sent to your prospect automatically, that's fine. This is still really helpful to base your manual ones off. And also to reference tactic 2, I think it was, you can now feed this proposal into your ChatGPT project or your GPT for even more context. And this will just create an even better assistant. So it's almost like a flywheel. All of these systems work together. And the result will be faster turnaround times. You'll have more consistent proposals. You'll also save you you and your team a lot of time. Also, prospects will be genuinely impressed by your efficiency, at least they are for us. And in just a second, I'll show you how you can access this free resource that I mentioned earlier. And look, this is proof that you don't need, a 5 to 10 grand budget and a team of AI developers to transform your sales process and the deal closing pipeline of your business. Everything I've shown you today is built with no-code tools. It's practically free and with just a bit of strategic thinking. And the real barrier isn't money. You just need to get creative. And once you understand the automation and the systems, it's very easy to build simple and reliable ones. Because I will always stick behind the opinion that simple AI beats complex AI. It's going to be much more reliable and easy to use. Now, if you want access to this resource that I keep mentioning, everything is waiting for you in the description below. You'll see 2 resources down there in the description. One is a Calendly link, so if you are a business owner and you're looking to generate a few more leads with AI, then book in and we can have a chat there. But if you're just looking for the free resource, click on the link, follow the instructions, and you will get access via email to our AI Learning Center. Just navigate to the AI guides and advice section and scroll down and you will see it in there. Also, you won't just find the templates from today's video, but hundreds of other AI agents and automation templates. The qualification systems, content workflows, customer service automations, sales pipeline automations, basically every AI system a serious business needs to stay competitive. And if you're having any issues setting up any of these systems, or if you have any questions, just drop a comment and I will try my very best to give you some guidance. That's it for today, and thank you very much for watching.